Here. This is my epoch. Okay, so it looks like I had two people waiting. I figured I might as well go ahead and start a little bit early. You might see a burn here. So Sam decided to lay on top of me and cuddle, and then she paused me with my cigarette in my mouth, and she kicks the coal out and smashes it right in here. So I got this nice little burn mark here because the dog decided to put my cigarette out on my face. That's messed up on so many levels, you know. But anyways, guys, I wanted to check in with you, be able to have chat, discourse, stuff like that. Jeremy, are you here? I'm just curious what you thought about the content I released on Patreon last night. So I'm gonna warn you guys, I'm trying to keep the wind out of the way, but the only place for me to get privacy is in the direct sun, so that's why you see me squinting. And it's been really windy. We've been getting up to 15-mile-an-hour gusts. I'm trying to block the mic from the stuff, or from the wind. So it is what it is. But being here in Cincinnati, I'm having a good time. Sam and I are down at the river right now. Here, I'll show you what she's doing if I can get her in. See, people keep asking, is your dog okay? I'm like, yeah, she's sunbathing. She spent about 2 hours swimming in the water earlier today. So, hey, what's going on? Good to see you too. So, we've been doing that. On the Cincinnati side, I don't have any trouble getting Sam in anywhere. I haven't even been asked to show paperwork, even though I've been prepared to show paperwork. But I went over to Kentucky this morning, and one of the people that didn't want Sam in there started making a stink, and I had to approve the paperwork and stuff like that. But that's been the first negative thing that I've seen with Sam, since I've been here. This is very dog-friendly city, and I'm actually really liking that aspect. And having Sam is actually making a lot more fun because during the day we're going around and we're going to different places and getting food. Or we're just going and sightseeing and seeing people and getting things done, and so I've got to take time out because this is basically a large concrete jungle. I got to take time out so that Sam can go have time and run in the park, or go run along the river and go swimming and play with her for a little bit, because I've been the training, because of how crowded and congested the city is. I've had to really step up her training as far as how I want her to be able to go with me. So she's pretty much been in a state of heel the whole time, because of having to navigate through large crowds and things like that. She's doing much better, but the thing is, she really loves it. So I bought Sam dog food. She has dog food, but we can eat so much here. And they don't mind that she comes into the food lines with me, comes and sits down at the table with me. That I will sit there. I will save about a third of my food off, and so every time I eat, she gets to eat. And I only feed her dog food is if she's not going to get a lot of human food for the day, because on the weekends there's not a lot of food, but there is some food, just not as abundant as during the week. So Sam is getting to feel like what a smorgasbord is all about, and I think this is actually funny, because she is just having the time of her life with this. She's gotten to eat all kinds of different food, and when we first got here, I stopped off at a burrito cart. Oh my God, the burrito was like $12. And I was like, okay, $12. I hope this is filling, because most of the time you go, you're paying $12 and you get like something that you could have paid like $3 or $4 for. And I mean, this was so filling that I had to share about a third of it with Sam, on top of the taco that I bought her, because I figured, it'd be cool to buy her a taco at a taco stand. And so she's getting to have, she's getting to sample all the different foods around here, and with people having a positive reaction to her, it's lowering my stress level so that I can actually enjoy Sam the way that I need to. that's something that's been going on that I really like. So I know if I go across the river to Kentucky, it's still the South, and they're gonna hate on dogs. So as long as I stay in northern areas, she's getting spoiled. Yes, dude, she's been spoiled. I spoil. I don't tell people, like, I try to get people to think that I'm the asshole, so that they will leave her alone and leave me alone when I bark at them. But for the most part, no. Sam gets spoiled rotten. I mean, she doesn't get half, or she gets twice as much as any street dog gets, and she gets more than most house dogs get. So I mean, not only is she getting fed well, but she gets played with. She gets to interact with the public. She gets all kinds of things. Plus, I make sure to keep her warm, and she's got to have her blanket, because I keep calling her my little princess, because she's like Princess in the Pea. I mean, I swear, oh, the ground's too hard, I need something soft, put your sleeping bag down for me, or something like that. I mean, she will literally come up and beg me to do things like that. But I spoil her like that. I always have. But as long as I can get other people to think that I'm the asshole, I think that it helps me, keep people. When I tell people leave my dog alone, that's kind of where it plays out on, as far as people thinking I'm the asshole. So, but anyways, we have 9 people in the chat. And I have done quite a few videos over the last couple days. If you guys have any questions about those videos, or want some further clarification because you didn't understand something, go ahead and put something in chat, and then that way I can answer it. If you have any questions, not only about where I'm going, what I'm doing, but homelessness in general, I will talk about it more. I may end up making a dedicated video for it. So, and again, I want to apologize, guys. There's like 15-mile-an-hour gusts that are coming through here. It's very windy here, but it's also very nice here. 70 degrees at the end of March. Everyone like and comment so Google pushes us out and gives us better streaming quality. Yeah, that is definitely. Hey, what's up, BC? Nice to see you. It is what it is. But as far as let's see, what topic do I really want to cover? What is it that's okay? When I have always said that you should probably just go in. I never go back to the same city twice, because I have my memories of the city when I was there. I go back, it might be tarnished. Well, this year I have gone back to the same city a couple of times. So I went back to Gainesville, which is where I spent a couple months last winter while I was snowbirding it before I got on the Florida Trail. And going back, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, as far as like the experience that I was expecting. And it was something that I enjoyed. Yeah, I got to know new people and stuff like that, but the services were still there. The overall attitude of society was still there. It was still a good place to go and to be homeless. And then also now I've made it back to Cincinnati, and I was in Cincinnati, 6 months ago, and now I'm back. And I had a lot of good memories. Yeah, I tried to get in and make a change in the homeless industrial complex, and when I got the response I got, I kind of got upset, and I was okay with leaving. But the truth is that I had a lot of fun last time, and this time, now that I know what there is, and where to go, and all these other things, I already have my infrastructure set up. People are already recognizing me, like, oh yeah, hey, nice to see you, Tuck, where you been? And I tell them where I've been. Went all the way down to Florida, hop trillions, stuff like that. So I have always said that you don't you probably don't want to frequent the same place more than once. But I'm going to recant or take that statement back and say that if you had a good experience with the city, you should definitely go back to it, but kind of keep it as part of a rotation, so that you don't get burnt out, so that you still remember it good. Because the longer you're in a city, the more it gets to a point where it takes its toll on you. You're just like, okay, I'm done with this city. I'm tired of it. Time to move on. So don't stay very long. But I think that if you decide that, hey, I want to go here for the winter, here for the summer, and do that, I think that is a perfectly viable idea. I think that is something that, as long as you find a place that you like. Now, it took me all year last year to find places that I liked. For example, I learned that I liked the Pinhoti Trail because I liked the water. I learned that I liked Gainesville because Gainesville was kind to me and had, ease of access to services, and I could sleep out in the woods. I like Cincinnati because it's a vibrant town. There's a lot going on. It reminds me of what San Francisco was like in the early 2000s before the crap that we see now. Okay, it's there's a lot to be done here, and so in the spring and summer, this place is going to be hopping, and there's a lot of opportunities here if you actually want to take advantage of opportunities. You can not only start to work for yourself, but maybe you can make connections, especially with it being seasonal stuff, especially at these farmers markets. You'll make a little bit of money here and there, but they get the extra help and they don't have to pay a lot for it, and you get paid under the table. These are things that, this is the type of environment where you can do something like that and really take advantage of commerce and still work under the table, but still be a part of society, so that you get the money that you need every day without having to worry about, like, how do I support myself? I don't want to go, panhandle or anything else like that. These are some things. That that at least in this environment, because like I said, across the river is Covington, Kentucky, which is where I said was one of the top 3 best places to be. And the combination is to go between Covington, Kentucky and Cincinnati, Ohio, because each one has certain things. So like in Cincinnati, this is where the food is. This is where all of the events are. All the commerce gets done over here. But over there, they have high quality services. You get snacks during the day. You can hang out in the day room all day long. They have advocates that come out there and meet you there. They have actual beds instead of floor mats. Like a lot of places have, or put you in the boats. They actually have beds there. They don't have enough to be able to deal with the homeless, but it's enough to be able to put a majority of the homeless up in a shelter. And again, people come from all over the state to go to Covington, because of how good the services are here, at least for Kentucky. So, and that's what I found out. So, okay. Hey, Cherokee. Yeah, no problem, man. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Okay, I was homeless, stayed wandering around about a year. Yeah, after about a year, you just kind of get to that point where it's like, okay, I've been doing this long enough, time to settle down. And so if you guys have heard me talking a lot, I talk a lot about home. I'm looking for home, a place to call home. I'm ready to go home. And you guys have said that. So how about transitioning between seasons? What do you keep and what do you replace? Might even be broken down into about 4 videos. I can definitely talk about that, but just to kind of give you a surface level explanation, because that'll go on my list, Jeremy, and I'll probably put it over there on the Hobo Tutorials, because I think that it'll have more value over there on Patreon. But as far as it's not really transitioning between gear, because if you have a 0 degree underquilt, you're gonna want to get rid of that one and get your 45 degree one. Okay, if you're doing a hammock, if you are doing a sub-zero sleeping bag, well then you might want to get like a 30 degree comfort sleeping bag. But most of the time you just have what it is that you have. It's more or less transitioning between, okay, so north to south. In the south, there's a lot of woods where you can go and pitch a hammock. Now, there's a place over here where I see that I can pitch a hammock, but I just haven't made it over there, and I'm kind of, watching to see what kind of activity goes on around there around night. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but it's a place that I'm looking at. But it's over on the Kentucky side of the river, and so now that I'm in a place like now that I'm in a place like Cincinnati, I need to be set up to be able to handle ground sleeping, because I may not be able to get a lot of places to pitch a hammock, in the city. But I still got to go and explore around too. There's stuff that's going on that I just need to go explore, and I will probably find places to pitch my hammock. But I may be so far out there that I have to take a bus every day on the way in, just to be able to conduct commerce and do the things that I want to do, to be able to support myself while I'm here in Cincinnati. Okay, so I mean, it's less about the seasons and more about the environment that you're in, especially if you're constantly moving around like I am. So you really don't think about all the tiny luxuries when in a home until you have it. Then you don't have it, then it's hard. It depends. I mean, I've been doing this lifestyle on and off for 25 years. It does not. I'm used to it, and when I get in a house, I don't really have a lot of things either, because I learned to live with very little. I don't really need a lot of space. I could probably do like a 10 by 12 room, and put a bed in there, probably put a desk in there, set Sam up, and maybe have me a dresser at most, and that's a lot of stuff. That's luxury items for me. I know how to set my bag up, or go and get the cheap plastic drawers, and that's all I have. And I use that as a holder for a monitor if I'm gonna do a desktop, or I put my laptop on it, and that kind of becomes my desk. That's generally what I do. But if I really wanted to go luxurious, that's what I would do. But you get to a point where you're so used to having little that it doesn't bother you. See, what people don't realize, okay, a poor person doesn't know what it's like to be rich, and doesn't really think about money in the same way a rich person does, because a poor person's never had it, so they wouldn't really know what to do with it once they had it. Versus a rich person, they're trying so hard, and they're so worried about everybody that's that's coming out to take their money. That's all they become focused on, and so therefore they see everything as money. So okay, here's an idea, Cincy, for a sign. Wear a Michigan shirt and have your sign say raising money to get a new shirt. Might work. The LSU polo won't work because of the Joe Burrow effect. Okay, not exactly sure about Joe Burrow, but I know he's the coach, but I'm not. Okay. But so wear a Michigan shirt and raising money to get a new shirt. That would be funny. I might try that. Okay, good afternoon, Tuck and Sam. Hey, Scrapper. Hey, Glenna. Okay. Yeah, Cherokee. I found 420. I bought. Dude, you can get an eighth for $25 here. Okay. I mean, some good stuff too. It's like, whoa, cool. But I also have connects from when I was here before. Apparently, I'm getting an extra special deal, but that's because I'm so cool, and I'm just a stoner. I don't do all that other stuff. But I was able to get connected, meet up with a friend, and I got some. So I can always use more though, Cherokee. So actually, what I would like to do is I would like to be able to go replace my piece. So when Sam and I jumped our jump train from New Orleans to to like near Meridian, we ended up I ended up dropping my pipe down a hole because I was worried that paraphernalia because the sheriff had walked by, and I was worried that if I got caught, I had that, it was gonna make things worse on me. So I dropped that, and I dropped my grinder in outside of Atlanta because I was worried that if we got caught, I had paraphernalia. So I replaced my grinder when I got here, but I have not replaced my pipe. I've got this little metal one hitter that just sucks. It sucks to suck, okay, and it sucks ass. I'll put it to you that way. So if you, Cherokee, if you want to help me get a new piece, I could definitely use your help there. So Steinmetz, the secret is the Paranormal activity. Okay. Am I out of smokes? Yeah, I'm actually smoking roll your own tobacco, but yeah, I am out of smokes. I'm smoking pipe tobacco, which honestly I found a good brand, but I just don't want to. I prefer actual real tobacco versus the pipe tobacco. But anyways, yeah, so I'm smoking pipe tobacco right now because I don't have enough to go and buy me a pack of smokes. Maybe with all that gold, Kentucky can actually pay its basketball players so they don't play like absolute ass. They play like lazy slaves in need. Wow, cringe. Wow. What is a grinder? Okay, so when you get the flour, it comes in a nug, right? And then you have a grinder. It's got teeth on it, and you kind of clamp it together and twist it back and forth, and it makes it into like a tiny little granules so that you get the most out of it. It's if you're really trying to um, if you're really trying to get the most out of it and stretch it the longest, you're going to want a grinder because then that way it exposes all of the crystals. Because I will have to Ironwood, you and I will have to have a private conversation about that if you want me to tell you how to really stretch it and stuff like that. Okay, no cancer sticks. Okay, no cancer sticks. But we all get, if I get a choice on how I go off this earth, I want to be able to choose. I'd rather go out with cancer than falling off a bridge by accident because Sam decided to chase a bird off the bridge. That would suck. No parachute with that one either. So, but anyways, all right. So tetracannabin. Okay, that's a big word for me, even but yes, that's what it's makes it burn more consistently. Yeah, that's another way to put it. Plus the thing is like you when you put the flame to it, you lose 80% of all of the THC that's there, and the rest of it's just kind of going through the motions. So you can use like a small bowl and put a tiny bit in there and do that one or two times and get more than if you just load it like a regular sized bowl, because you're sucking all that in the first puff. So that's just something that I've learned over the years, and that's why I'm able to stretch it. Is to do small amounts over a period of time, and it's a little bit different, so it makes it burn more consistently. Okay, so does anybody have any? It looks like I'm losing people, but whatever. All right, so does anybody have any questions, anything that I could answer, anything like that? It looks like we've got the weed thing figured out, but it is what it is. Sorry, my brain, I'm rested, but my brain is going a million miles an hour. Right now, I'm in the process. So if you're over on Patreon, you should see a post that I posted. It's using Google Docs, Google Drive, because I wanted to be able to share an audio file, but I can't get it to upload to anything else other than my Google Drive. So I just shared the link there so that you guys could listen to it. But it's kind of like my raw thoughts in a major decision in which I'm making, because right now I'm getting to a point where I have to make decisions that are going to be permanent. This year is going to be a very, very eventful year, especially with all the events happening in Ukraine, with France going on, with all that stuff. There's some things that you should really, if you haven't already started putting certain things in motion, you should go ahead and start doing that now, because within the next year we're going to be in a kinetic war with Russia, and possibly even China. It's inevitable, especially with what the French are doing, and with what NATO is doing, and with the F-16s and all that stuff. It's being forcibly escalated to a point where somebody's going to either strike first or make an official open declaration of war. And if that happens, that means that the likelihood of an exchange of nuclear weapons is going to go through the roof, and it's just a matter of time. It's not an if, it's a when. And so, are you prepared? Are you moving in that direction? Do you have yourself set up? And what if the fallout comes your way? The water and the air and the plant life gets contaminated by it. How do you know how to wash it? Do you know how to clean it? These are things that you should be educating yourself on. Now, I don't know these things, but I'm sure that there are, because I know that there are quite a few preppers that watch this channel and have their own channel, like 30, 80,000 subscribers, to where this is something that you could teach in mass, and it would probably get a lot more traction just because of the size of the channel and just the exposure to the viewership. But this is something that if you haven't already got your plans in order, this is something that you should definitely be doing and working vigilantly, because the time is very short between the official declaration and the time at which nukes actually get exchanged. And they're already starting to use them on the battlefield in small amounts in the munitions and stuff like that they're dropping. So the whole nuke thing is already going forward. I mean, it's already been being used on the battlefield. So after the war, with all these munitions that are dropped, how contaminated is everything going to be? And do you know how to survive post-nuclear war, where they're using nuclear explosives in the ammunition, whether it be bullets, whether it be tank munitions, or whatever it is, to be able to take out the enemy? What are the long-term effects of that? Okay, would you have to roll it into hash ball off your finger so you could keep working? I don't do hash. I just prefer straight flour. Have potassium iodide on hand if under 45. Okay, but that just covers the initial. What about everything after that? Hi, I'm Hannah. Remember my cancer. Meet me. I have been cured and I'm living in a happy life. Well, Hannah, glad to hear you. Glad to hear that. And I think you were the one that I may have told you get your affairs in order with your family and make sure that you leave on good terms. But anyways, nice to meet you, Hannah. But anyways, this is kind of and because of oh, sorry, Sam, sorry. You okay? Sorry, I stepped on her toe. Lay down, kick it down, kick it down, kick it down, kick it down. Thank you. With that's part of the reason why this next decision that I make has to be permanent, because it's like, how do I see it playing out? And one of the things about Cincinnati that take it from a logistics standpoint, you have the East-West Trail that runs right through Cincinnati. That will connect you to the Appalachian Trail, the Great Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail. Okay, so you can go north and south, east and west. From here, you can get to anywhere you want in the country, and instead of like, oh well, da 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 da, this is like a main artery for travel. So let's say that whether it be nuclear war or civil war, a lot of your highways and byways are destroyed because of fighting, whether they're using military hardware or homemade stuff. Okay, and you're gonna still have to travel, which means you're gonna travel on your back. You're gonna take trails. You're gonna get to a close trail, because you probably don't want to be on the roads, because you got to deal with bandits. You may also have to deal with other criminal elements. You may have to deal with the civil unrest elements. And so going on something like on trail is going to be a way for you to kind of skirt around all of it, but you're going to have to take a long walk instead of just taking a short walk. Okay, and I think that Cincinnati is a great launching point, because once you see what's coming, now I can say, do I go east, west, north, or south? Okay, and what part of the country do I end up on? That's a question that I'm answering. It's like, do I stay here in Cincinnati? Do I go to West Virginia? Do I go west? Do I what is it that I do? And when I do it, it has to be a permanent decision. I can't make any more changes from this point out. Everything that I do is going to be in that direction. So if I'm going to make a full-on commitment, I need to know how to be able to what's going to benefit me the most. And I mean, if I go west or if I go to West Virginia, I'm going to still end up owning my own property. But if I were to stay here in Cincinnati, I would become a city dweller until it became to a point where no longer is being in a city a good idea, and I could hop out on trail. I already got my gear and just get on the road real quick, and then I can figure out where's the best places to go from there. Because the nice thing about Cincinnati is that it has the technological infrastructure for the economy of the future, and that's something that I think that it has to offer that you don't get anywhere else. You go across the river to Covington, and the internet is about a third of the speed, and it's like, but you've got things here where I mean I can upload 2 videos in less than 5 minutes over here on this side of the river. It really has to do with the investment in technology and infrastructure, and Ohio and Cincinnati has done that. I think this is how they're reviving the Rust Belt. But places like Kentucky are still stuck backwards, and so it's gonna be much different for them. Okay, what's up, Outdoors? Nice to see you. Okay, guys, so we've been going for about 30 minutes. Shalom. Nice to meet you, Smoking Swamp. Okay, you guys know how to help the channel. Become a subscriber. Make sure you share the video. If you have any topic suggestions, like what Jeremy gave me, please let me know either in the comments. You can even send me an email about it or in chat. If you've been here for a while, or if this is not your first video, everything's in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And thank you guys for being here and being part of this live stream. And I will have better topics. I'm still just kind of getting myself acclimated to being here, just because it's a completely different thing. I will probably cover it in a video and show you guys kind of what I do as a day in the life of Tuck and Sam. Where I show you kind of like how we're being active and just kind of trying to get things done, and then that way you guys can kind of see something from our perspective versus thinking that just because we're homeless doesn't mean we have all the time in the world. I joke about it. Yeah, I'm homeless, I'm never busy, but that's not really true. So but anyways, misses past few videos I was in. Oh, okay, sorry to hear that, Smoking. Going back to the start of the video since I came in late. Okay, Outdoors. All right, guys. Anyways, like, subscribe, share, down in the description. See you guys in the next live stream, which will be Tuesday. It'll probably be like around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. See you guys then. Stay safe, guys.